Well, hello there, everyone. You hear show right here is the Gold Monument 2, and bonus slides. Talk about right here. I talk about for like welcome back, sequel right here. Talk about for United States Treasury, and you see right here is that most of us, I'm sure most of us have seen right here as example right here of the Statue of Liberty right here. I would hit drew right here with the pen right here, include right here the American flag right here, and if most of us can see this very well, as to where you have right here is a Statue of Liberty that I would, would present. It's like kind of like a trophy, like a mascot to do a type trophy or a lamp or so. But anyway, anybody that more likely warrants toward it, yeah, that for any ideas, for what they would want, for their birthday and thinking about necessarily to where that possibly that in the next maybe next year or two down the road or so to think about as to where that whenever they do have a birthday that they are going to be martyrs like to where that from whenever graduation and maybe wedding day or maybe anniversary so that all come within the same time and just thinking about as to ways to celebrate. But see right here's the stars right here, like you have right here's Statue of Liberty. You have right here's a town right here, like yeah, that your first city like for New York City, and like anybody that may warrant to where that I just use right here's the paint tool to just to draw a little bit of that. Some of this right here is my Photoshop work, so think about it like for anything I was able to put together on illustration. But you see right here is for the next page right here, as I include right here is a picture right here with me with the phone, and then you have right here with me with some fireworks. And I know with anybody that more likely wants to wear, like especially on the 4th of July, for 2016, that from back in the 1776 or so, it's like you're from whenever, for, like you say, the country known buys you for United States of America. And at the time, we're like wearing to it between 1776 and 2016, we're like wearing to where really that if that's what you call about 150 years, about I'd say about 200 or say how long would that be? About maybe 230 years or so since the country was known by found by, but as well as for. And I know that, like, if I could do my study about the United States, about the American flag, if I can remember right, that there was only about 47 states, I think. There was only like 47 states from back in like the year of 1876 or something like that, right around the time I think maybe after the Civil War or something like that. But anyway, just kind of look back at some of the history. But on your hand that you see right here is like some fireworks right here, and this is my Photoshop work right here, so this will be my arm right here, like I include right there, like if that was like any type of special effects right there, and you have right here is the fireworks right here, so anybody that may want to wear that, yeah, the way I would drew arrange this was like kind of like say it's like Liberty, like the Statue of Liberty right here. And then for celebrate safely, so anybody that may want to wear like yeah, you go out and buy fireworks and celebrate safely, is to where that fire is not a toy, like you need fire and just to be able to use some of that stuff. But and I know that some of the fireworks that they say is to where you can buy some that you don't even have to light, like because the fuse is open, but still that ways of how to celebrate safely without the dangers of any fires or any type of cautious hazards or anything like that. And then you have right here for page 3 right here, as I include right here, is like me right here, like with the fireworks, and as well as if we want to call this like I think polk or something like that. I think the lighter sticks that you would be able to use for the fireworks. And like with me though, with my birthday coming around the corner, I keep thinking about as to where yeah, this is a lot of times the way that how I would usually celebrate the 4th of July right here is that my Photoshop work right here. You tell everybody to have a nice and safe 4th of July, and you have right here is the birthday candle. So I know this was something that I would like to do almost every year. I would say for every year for the past 20 or so years that I would want to do something which you call special creative. And I know there's a couple of times from the 5 years since like today that would have said mentions to where that yeah, like today that it's been it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since the last time I bought any fireworks. So with these kinds right here and thinking about is to where you buy the fireworks and thinking that yeah, that thinking it's proud to have them, especially, and not just because it's like, well, like boom, 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 or anything, but ways to celebrate though is that that with anybody that talk about it's like for besides we say the fireworks that they make noise, and it's like you can light them, and they may show like a certain type of display or something like that. They go boom boom whenever they make a display. So anybody that may warn to where that whenever you're going to be celebrating with fireworks, it's like always using your caution is that really that your fireworks that they have the caution labels, especially on the fireworks, to where that don't be playing with these like they're toys, like what you call maybe the party confetti or anything like that. So that it's like, yeah, that I'm sure most of us can remember, looking back at some of these childhood photos right here, like you have right here is like with me right here with the bowl of ice cream, but from that one picture which I did not include on for part two, but I don't know, anybody that may want to where that do a part 3 and part 4 or so, include like which says maybe some of your recent pictures especially. But these pictures right here are like say the fireworks right here. So whenever I was working this, anybody that may wonder to where you're going to be looking back at your photo, I'm like, yeah, that this right here would have been a photo of me right here as of today, and then this one right here would be like whenever I was only about maybe 1 or 2 years old. So anybody that may wonder to where, yeah, especially on a driver's license, and like warrant to where that, yeah, that anybody that may warrant to where that, yeah, I'm like, well. I had got my license back in October, but yeah, for my birthday though is like for July. That for 4th of July though is to where that yeah that anybody that more likely wants to where if you can actually do your own photo work, especially on a driver's license or maybe on a tax form. So I say that yeah, well, wherever that that whatever creative, anything creative that you want to do, that to remind anybody, like if you want to keep something for yourself, as to where that keep something on file, as to where that make it easy to remember to where how to keep your tax files and stuff like that updated. But one of the reasons why I'm doing this activity right here is that thinking about is to where on my graduation day is thinking about is to where things that I may see or I could see in the mail, and as well as like especially on my birthday, is that thinking about a lot of the stuff that I may not be used to, such as one of these I have highlighted right here is for Matthew graduation, and on your hand too, the other one was for birthday. So anybody that may want to where that yeah, a certain time of the year to where if it's going to be by 2016 or 2017 or by 2018, and I keep thinking though that yeah, by the year 2018 is thinking about for what more like what I would be expecting on my birthday. And anybody that may want to, well, yeah, you get yourself some fireworks, and you're going to have fun with them, and maybe but show them off. It's like a certain location, like you have to go at the park or somewhere. But some that may warrant to where by the year 2018 that thinking about is to where that any might think about is like maybe the increase in salary especially. So anybody that may warrant to where the types of things that you may see on a birthday card, and you're like wondering to where you get a birthday card, and then I kept thinking about it to where I get a birthday card and I'm used to seeing maybe what you call any type of money or any type of certificate or something like that in there. So just thinking about the things that we may find that may surprise us. Just thinking about us to where here right here's the candle. The candle basically says is to that what I use right here is like for the type of type in like I say in a line in a certain type of way of like for like writing note, but have right here is for happy birthday to the graduate, known as for the gold monument for response for the for graduation of the it's like known, but it's like known as around. It's like to wherever celebrating the birth of the country, and as well as for graduation at the same time. And so anybody that may warrant where you look at this right here will be, I guess, like the example right here, I say like a type of a graphic design work right here of a candle. And I know, like with me though, that the candle, and I know that this reminds me of something that maybe that anybody would more likely see on one of those Tom and Jerry cartoon shows or something like that. But on your hand that you see right here is that this right here would be example right here of what would be on a birthday cake. So if anybody wonders to where that, yeah, you look at a candle and thinking that, whenever you were about maybe 4 or 5, that maybe that you would blow out the candles, but then on your hand too, that you would look at the candles and thinking about, yeah, the candle would more like represent is to where that you are turning a year older. So think about right here is that, yeah, the way whenever I took this picture, I was also thinking about is to make it look like maybe a little bit like Statue of Liberty, the statue that represents the monument for that represents our nation, as well as for the birth of America, and as well as my birthday that will be coming 2 weeks after that. So a lot of the stuff that I would be celebrating on my birthday, and usually that would be after the 4th of July. So anybody that may wonder to what does twice mean, and like wonder to where that's about, expect to where that you would see a little bit more on top of from what was there from before. So originally that there could have been about maybe about 20 pounds or so of maybe birthday cake and celebration treats or something like that, and then after about maybe 5 days later, and then there's an additional 10 pounds on top of that. So I guess you're like wanting to wear a top I say for twice. So anybody that may want to, yeah, twice the fun, twice the celebration. Happy 4th of July, everyone. So looking at this picture right here, and as well as looking at this picture right here, and you have right here's the fireworks. So whenever I think about this, also including the stars, is that yeah, look at my baby pictures, and I'm like, well, like wonder to where have like the American flag, and I can tell anybody here with my Photoshop work, and then plus with my illustration work and InDesign, I can maybe do a number of things, maybe with a few stars, and show you maybe a few other examples. Maybe I can do with the programs especially, but. On the other hand, too, that seems like to where after I do graduate and thinking about what all that I will be able to present as well. But on the other hand, too, this is a new type of activity right here. Like if you want to call it maybe like a graphic work right here, is to where right here's an example right here of a candle, and then looking back right here is that right here is example right here on the 4th of July for 2016, and then for safe celebration. And then you have right here is the American flag especially. And I did not include a cell phone in this part, so I'm like anybody that may want to, or that, yeah, that, I often do, like whenever you do get phone calls, you may get text messages and say anyway, hey, happy 4th of July, everyone. So think about it to where, especially at night. And I know, like with anybody, that at 4th of July is going to run on like maybe a Monday or maybe a Sunday or so. And so anybody that may want to wear, if it's required to wear, about almost everybody, just like on the election day, is to wear that everybody would be inquired to where that they would have about maybe 15 hours or so out of a day to where they go out and have a barbecue, or maybe look at fireworks, and then ways of how to celebrate somehow. And anybody that may warrant toward it, yeah, that you ought to go ahead and stand in front of the barbecue grill, go ahead and barbecue some things, and maybe watch the fireworks, and like with anybody that you're like warrant toward, yeah, that besides building model ships and then maybe cars and stuff like that, a number of things that maybe we can be keeping ourselves busy with, especially on the 4th of July, and knowing about you have right here with the different variety of colors too. But on the other hand, that this work right here talks about is like for anybody that would be like to fight for the gold monument. Though the gold monument basically means it's like originally that the original idea came with is whenever that something to where that that it started like say as a hobby, and something to where that somebody else that finds very interesting, so interesting to the point to where it seems like to where that the work is going to expand, to where that it would people would keep you busy for the next 5 or 10 or maybe 20 years for whatever that you do is like with the career. And thinking about right here a brand new grade book. But on the other hand, that yeah, that for my birthday that represents is like for whenever the birth of Matthew, and as well for me, and then and then knowing about you for anybody else that may have birthdays so that come around July. But I'm also thinking about as to where that you have right here is a baby picture right here of me right here, and I keep thinking about as to where that I was kind of raised as to where that yeah that a lot of people, a lot of the siblings or family and friends that you're like weren't where their birthdays come between spring or maybe of of around later on and maybe around winter or maybe around the fall time or so of the year. And I'm like Warren toward it. Yeah, there may be some people that may have their birthday maybe around September and as well as October, and as June, and then maybe around March. And I'm like Warren toward it. Yeah, that there may be some people who do have their birthdays and around January and February, and thinking about like especially on New Year's. It's like for New Year's Eve. So anybody that may warrant toward yeah, or especially around New Year's Eve, that usually that like the way the taxes goes to where like for your United States Treasuries to where that for every year marks is like from every year for starting right around January the 31st is whenever that they would need to have most of the recent updates about is to where about the tax form. So anybody that may warrant to where about that is to where that that one of the reasons why I was doing this activity too is to where a lot of it has to do with math. So math and paperwork. So if any amount of money that you may make from that time of the year, and like with anybody's to where that yeah, this was right here with math class. Like you enjoying that birthday dessert of yours and like with the ice cream and like wanting to where about how many bowls have you had and like how many calories or how much doses of sugar in or each serving or anything like that or any other type of question like that. But one of those will be is to where that yeah, that if you were to look back about how much money that you made during that year and as well as how many classes or so whenever we look at our tax forms, that it seems like to where that yeah, that a lot of what I talk about is about the future, the stuff that has not happened yet, but according to like for United States Treasury, that I guess it says like sometimes they count it to where it's stuff that's already happened, it's already over with, so now we need to have some updated information about that. But you see right here is like with the gold monument is that at this right here will be example right here of like what would be on my birthday cake. So the way I would do this, like I talked about from the first one, is basically talk about is to where that with the gold monument to where anybody that may say that you enjoy maybe the ice cream or maybe the slice of cake or maybe the cupcake, but then thinking about it is that you enjoy would say that the Statue of Liberty right there that marks is like for where like for freedom as well as for whenever Matthew graduated. So you have right here is the American flag right here. So if anybody were to wonder to where that yeah, like to maybe like to see some more Photoshop work for what you could do with this gold monument here with the Statue of Liberty, maybe add maybe a few buildings in the background. I could see what I can do about any of my Photoshop work for what I can do with this right here. But until then, you have right here is for part two right here, and I really don't know. I'm thinking that maybe later on in the week, maybe by July the 8th or so, that if I'll be posting up for for sequel 3 or sequel 4, but until then, that's just the gold monument right here is basically the point it goes is like to where anybody that may want to where that you're looking at some of the stuff right here and anybody that may want to where that yeah, the gold monument and after the 4th of July holiday and then knowing about yeah for whenever your birthday comes around and telling everybody it's like yeah that ways of how to celebrate the 4th of July especially and that knowing about that well like with the fireworks and whenever my birthday does come and I know like with anybody is to where whenever you first get hired on a job and that's another thing too. It's like for gold monument is to where that people that they may know and recognize you for what you do and think about is to where possibly by the fall or by next year that whenever I do get a job for what I do and you're like wanting to find any type of career or so, and anybody that may want to or that a gold monument, and you like wanted to where yeah, and you ought to do one about the gold monument's cousin, the gold monument's cousin, or maybe the gold monument, the third or the fourth or something like that. But yeah, until then. I could probably say is to where that that by the time anybody kind of gets the understanding about a little bit about what I'm talking about here between what you call the candle that celebrates it's like for 1 year or so completed 1 year left to go or so, thinking about is to where that like say for say fire, and I was also thinking about is to where some of my birthday pictures especially to where that right here is like for the candles, and you're like Warren to where with the candles though is that it's like it was like celebrate it safe is that the Matthew on graduation, Matthew on his birthday, all in one. You have right here's I highlight for you for Matthew McGuire on his birthday and then graduation all in one, and it's like ways to celebrate. So whenever we look at this right here, like Warren, to where right here is that on Matthew's birthday that included like which says like the Disney character say the Mickey Mouse, but then on your hand that for maybe by next year or by 2018 that more likely there's going to be what you call some will say of a liberty, and as well as like maybe for the stars and the American flag especially. So if anybody wants to where that color of blue and as well as yellow and green, and like one or two with the red, white, and blue, and as well as was the stars. So I mean that's just a lot of times though the favorite color's been blue for a long time, and I also thought about it, was like white is especially white's also it's like another one of my favorite colors especially. So anybody that may wonder to where how come that there ain't no red, in the background, knowing about right here is like what represents for the 4th of July. But anyway, but there you have it. Talk about safe for happy 4th of July, everyone. And there's like you celebrate safe is like talk safe for the gold monument too. Thanks for watching. May 25 and have a great day.